Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers. It's Luke here. I hope you're all well. Just an unscheduled live show just to talk about West Ham. Usually, it's me walking to work doing these shows where I, do the headlines that I've read in the papers or read on the way on the train. I thought, as I'm off for another few days, as it's the Easter holidays, I thought I would do a live one. I don't know whether many of you will be about for the show. We'll wait and see, but comment along. Let me know what you think. I'll talk a little bit about Bayer Leverkusen, and then, like I say, any sort of headlines that are out there today, I will talk about as well. I'll be back straight after this. So, sort of the main one that's out there this morning and overnight was the Paqueta stuff. There was loads of rumours. We knew he'd probably be off in the summer anyway, but loads of social media outlets were linking him away and then agreed personal terms with Manchester City. This may have happened. We've seen it with Declan Rice last year. By all accounts, that was all agreed before the fee was even agreed, with his family and stuff. So do I believe it? I do. I do believe that he probably has agreed personal terms. Can you blame him? Can you blame him? Listen, I would have loved him. I would love him to stay at West Ham, and until he's gone, he's still a West Ham player. I do think it's done. I do think that in terms of his side of it, it's done. It's how much money West Ham going to get. I think we should be stubborn with this deal. If the buyout clause is 85 million, there are rumours that buyout clause does run out at a certain point. Early summer. I'm talking sort of end of July. I don't know whether that's true. This is a rumour. So after that buyout clause is done, can West Ham demand a bit more money? Let's be fair. We're looking at, if Declan Rice was 100 million and he's gone on, and become really fantastic for them, I would say you're looking at a 90 million pound player in Lucas Paqueta. If Pep's looking at him, he's seen something that's really special. He's seen something that we've seen. He's seen something that he can do. He's looking for replacements for Kevin De Bruyne. I don't think they fully replace Gundogan either. As long as West Ham get the right money, we can't stand in his way. There's certain clubs that when they come in for you, and there's certain managers, Pep, Real Madrid, that you can't blame the player. You can't. I know, listen, I dug out Declan Rice and I still don't totally agree with him going there. I don't like the guy. But he's gone there and there's a good chance he could win the league, Declan Rice. And I hope they don't. I'm praying to God they don't win the league. But, with Lucas going to Manchester City, he's got a chance to win everything. And he's, at the prime peak of his career. I said it on Claret and Booze the other day that Lucas Paqueta is wasted at West Ham. No other club in the league would play him on the left wing. No one would play him left wing. For Manchester City, he'll be in that midfield, doing the little pings over the top, tackling and doing what he can. It reminds me of a little bit. And I did like him as a player, Hayden Mullins. I did. I quite liked him. It's when Hayden Mullins was getting in the team in front of, Javier Mascherano. It sort of screams of that. Like, we'd rather put Ward-Prowse and Soucek in there than Lucas Paqueta in his centre midfield place. Couple of comments here. He's owned 20. Good lad, this guy, James. Paqueta is the new David Silva for City. I think he's the new De Bruyne, mate. I do. I think David Silva was, more of a, tricky, lovely little player, but probably one of the best players in the world with the ball tight to his feet. I'm not saying Lucas is Kevin De Bruyne, but I think he could be developed to become that. Kevin De Bruyne wasn't the Kevin De Bruyne we know when he first joined City. He's become that over time. Like he's my favourite player in the world, Kevin De Bruyne. But I think he's got that. I think because Kevin De Bruyne can tackle, Kevin De Bruyne can run, Kevin score, pass, shoot, everything. And I think Paqueta has got that potential to potentially become a poor man's Kevin De Bruyne, should I say, right? Because it's very hard to be putting him with that elite level. But yeah, David Silva, mate, is one of my favourite players ever as well. Robert says, Luke, we have lost players before. Rice, we carry on. We are united. That's right, mate. That is right. You know, Declan went. We got Alvarez in, good player. We got Kudus in, very good player. Mavropanos looks like he's slowly becoming West Ham's best defender. So I trust him. I do trust him. As long as the money's right, like I say, 85 million plus for Lucas. And if it all comes in one go, which it would have to if they met the buyout clause, all like they did with Jack Grealish, all 100 million has to be paid up front. Then I'm happy. Then, you know, I trust him to do some magic with it. He's got to do a lot of magic. You know, there's a lot of players going out, mate. But let's see. James says, players come and go, but West Ham will remain the same. Big summer ahead. Yeah, that's it. I think over time, mate, I think, you know, as you get older, listen, I've had my heart broken by players leaving West Ham. Like I say, one of my biggest ones was when I was 18. I went to Faliraki, and, you know, that summer was, you know, brilliant holiday, one of the best summers of my life. But on the telly, within like a 3-day period, Trevor Sinclair's gone, Joe Cole's gone, Paolo Di Canio's gone to Charlton. And it's very hard for me to totally fall in love with a player now and, you know, be disappointed now. You know, I just accept it now. You know, Payet hurt. Payet really hurt when he left. And the last one that really hurt, I'll be honest with you, mate, was Arnie. I really liked Arnie as a player and what he would do in this team now. You imagine if it was him, Kudus, Bowen and Paqueta behind him. Jesus Christ, he was so good. He was so good. But yeah, that's right, mate. That's, like I say, you just move on now. Like Rice last year was one that was loved by the young fans, probably would hurt them. I'll be honest with you, the only one that would really hurt me now if they left, I think would be Jared Bowen, because he's a living legend at that club. He's got, listen, he never has to buy a drink in the East London, Essex area again, you know, after that goal and how he's been for us. That would be the only one that would really hurt me now. Tim Steiden will be able to do a lot with that cash we get for Paqueta, as we did with Rice. We need a much deeper squad. Yeah, and we need a sub bench we need a manager that's willing to use a sub bench. So when and if a new manager comes in, I'm sure, or coach, should I say, I don't think we'll ever have a manager again. You know, there needs to be able to use squad depth. Michael says tapping up comes to mind. Season not over yet. We all expect him to move on in the summer, but how does this affect the rest of the season for him, knowing he will be at City for next summer? I don't know, mate. I don't know. It hasn't affected him when the move fell through, obviously, in the summer, did it? He would have been there. If it weren't for the betting scandal, he would have been there. I think he's a role model professional. And I think someone summed it up quite nicely the other day, actually. I can't remember which channel said it. I think, barring the big clubs like City, like Real Madrid, etc., I think Lucas would be happy to stay. I think he likes it at West Ham. I think, you know, the way he celebrates goals, the way he gets frustrated in games. I think he does like being at West Ham. I think he's got Emerson there, and he's got his group of players that he gets on well with. But I think he's ambitious. You know, Brazilian players, it's all about the big stuff, you know, winning the World Cups, winning the big trophies, and, you know, legacy, especially the Brazilian players, you know, they come from such a culture. I think he'll be fine, mate. I genuinely think he'll be fine between now and the end of the season. Look, even a commentator mentioned about Paqueta being out of position on the left, but Moyes does this so James will press and so Chet players madness. It is, mate. It is statues and lampposts. Oh yes, we are on Twitch now, guys, as well. I set up a Twitch account. Just so I thought, you know, if you don't watch on YouTube, Twitter, and you are maybe some of the younger crowd, I set up a Twitch account, so you can now watch through Twitch. There's 3 forms now. I need to set up a Facebook, really. I just come off Facebook a long time ago, and I don't want to go back to that toxicity. Ralph says, and we have 80 million in the bank too, so that's a few bob. Yeah, plus, Ben Rama fee, Fornell's fee, Tilo Kerr's fee. If a Gerd was to go, if we can somehow, abuse that Saudi market and get about 30 million for him, but there is a lot to, the thing is, the more you sell, the more you got to replace. That's the only problem now. Would you take any City player in a cash plus player? That's a good question. That is a good question. Not Phillips, obviously. It's hard, isn't it? It's hard because obviously they've got the elite players that you're never going to get anywhere near. I would have took Cole Palmer. Jesus Christ, I would have took him last year. 100%, he would have been incredible. I don't know. No, to be honest with you, mate, name some names at me and then I'll say yes or no. But obviously, apart from the elites that you're not going to get, it's hard to think off the top of my head. I want Morgan Gibbs-White. That's who I want. I think he'll go Tottenham now. I've got a feeling he's going to go Tottenham. But yeah, if I could pick some players that I wanted, Paqueta 85 million, I'd go and get. If we really wanted to be ambitious, really wanted to go for it and give this new manager a chance, I'd go and get Morgan Gibbs-White and I'd go and get Ivan Toney. And then I think you've got a real chance with that front lot. That is quite scary. As of next season, there are more European fixtures with the new formats. Teams like us, should we qualify, need a bigger squad? We do, mate. And I want to qualify. I do. I love Thursday night. I can't wait for Thursday, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. But yeah, you can't rely on 13, 14 players. You have to. And that's why when they come in, they're either not quite ready, and and they're rusty, or you get sort of performances like a Danny Ings, for example, where he's over trying, where he's trying so hard that it doesn't come off for him because they're not, they don't know when and if they're going to play again. Rice still hurts, I won't lie. It made me realise not to get too sentimental with players. That's right, mate. I can't even look at Declan Rice. I can't. It's pathetic. I'm a 39-year-old man, but I can't even look at him. Like the pictures of him celebrating with the trophy actually hurt. Like, it's like, oh, why are you in the pictures? Why are you in the pictures? And the thought of him lifting the Premier League in a few weeks' time, if they go on and win it, oh my God, I can't. I think I'm out of football, mate. I think I'd have to quit the channel. I wouldn't like football anymore. I reckon Bowen this season best. Sorry, I reckon this is Bowen's best season in a West Ham shirt. What do you think? I have to agree, mate. I think he's getting better and better. Absolutely clinical, with his finishing. Again, another one. He's done a decent job when he's played up front. He has. I'll give him some credit. But as soon as he goes out onto that right-hand side, he's so good. He's so good there. He's wasted when he's not on that right-hand side. That's where he's the most effective. I thought he was really good for England when he played there the other night as well. Yeah, mate, I would agree with you. I agree with you. One of my favourite players as well. To be honest, I still enjoy watching Rice. He is so much better with the fluid attacking team. No, I can't even watch Arsenal games, mate. I hate Arsenal. I hate them. Emerson in left midfield is a good position going forward. Paqueta must play centrally. Yeah, that's definitely an option there, mate. He would offer protection to Cresswell as well if he had to bring in Cresswell. Or, if he played Ben Johnson left back, Soufal right back, he offers that protection down that left-hand side. According to some sources, Bowie's scan has shown some bruising to his spine. Could be at 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, that'd be absolutely devastated. We could probably afford to lose him for one Leverkusen game, but both would be devastating. And I'm sure he would be devastated as well, mate, if he was to miss it. Morning, Luke. You're doing a preview on Leverkusen. It'll be part of this show, mate. I will go into a little bit of Leverkusen as part of this show. Emerson is playing left midfield is a good option. Paqueta must play centrally. Question: if we sell Paqueta, how much will West Ham have to spend? Well, you would like to think that West Ham have some sort of budget every year. 30, 40 million as a surplus budget, and then it's on player sales. Like I say, if you factor in 85 million for him, that's straight away 105, isn't it? Roughly around that sort of 115 mark. I can't remember what the Benrahma price was. Was that about 15 million? 15 million for Curva. You'd like to think West Ham might have about 150 million pounds to spend, potentially. Oscar Bob, I would take. It always makes me laugh, that name. I always think the Simpsons, like Sideshow Bob. That's what I meant. We already have 80 million in the bank-ish. Then on top of that, yeah. So with Ralph's numbers and the numbers I'm sort of thinking in my head, yeah, about maybe 100, 150 million, pending if we have to buy a manager out of a contract as well. Striker Young could be a future. Oscar Bob. Yes, Oscar Bob or Sideshow Bob, whatever we want to call him. As a striker option, he could be a great purchase. I actually agree with you that at 37, I look at him and it makes me angry. I know it's pathetic. It's pathetic. I work with a lot of Arsenal fans as well, and I can't stand them. I can't stand them. So the fact that they've got, you know, one of our best players that's ever come from our academy in my lifetime, you know, it's salty. I am salty. I'll admit it. I'm salty about the Rice thing. Jonathan David or Jimenez for me, striker. Yeah, Jonathan David. That's a name that goes quiet. You know, he has these like weldy moments, and then he just goes really quiet where you don't hear nothing from him for a while. But yeah, would be exciting. Obviously, a striker that we come up against on Thursday, Victor Boniface. If he doesn't go to a big club, maybe he'll come to West Ham as well. Keep your comments coming in, guys. It's your show, interactive, live and interactive. Tony Gibbs-White, Tosin, Oscar Bob, Wan-Bissaka, and Johnson. City expect to get Paqueta for 70 million. If we sell him for 70 million, we're absolute mugs. We're mugs. We're mugs if we sell him for 70 million. Selling players like Paqueta is not what ambitious teams do. We need to build teams around players like him. Youth, early career. It's true, mate. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say I want him to go. No one wants him to go. No one wanted Declan Rice to go. But if City come in for you, it is incredibly, incredibly hard for any team or player to turn that down. It's the same with Real Madrid. You know, Real Madrid come in for you, you go. It's a once in a lifetime moment. At the end of the day, what is Paqueta? 26, 27? You know, he probably wants the last sort of 3-4 years of his 5-6 years of his career playing Champions League football. And at the moment, sadly, same with Declan Rice, with these owners and this ambition, lack of, you know, wanting to get to that next level, he ain't gonna do it here. He ain't gonna do it in the time frame that we can allow him. Sadly, I want nothing more than West Ham to be a top 4 team, mate. And when I hear like Andy Townsend on the radio this morning going, "Oh, what about West Ham? You know, that's the best they can do." Let's be fair, they're West Ham. Why have Villa there? How have Villa got themselves into there? I think they've gone 5th now, Villa, haven't they? But how have Villa been up there all season? And a couple of seasons ago, we was only what 2-3 points away from top 4, and you know, a semi-final away from beating Frankfurt and going into the final to play for a place in the Champions League. It's just. We keep constantly missing it in that January, don't we? That's what it is. But I trust in Tim. I trust in Tim, mate. I trust in Tim. I used to live in North London and live 5 minutes from Arsenal. All my lot are consistently reminding me of our great Declan Rice is. Get away from them Arsenal fans, mate. They're all. Tosin Fulham, we have been linked with on Babbling Irons. I liked him. Yeah, he's all right, mate. He's good little player. Oscar Bob sounds like a racehorse. I'll check if he's running international on Saturday. I'll put a couple of quid on him. Do you think we could go back in for Fofana if Paqueta goes in the summer? Maybe, mate. Obviously, we know Steiner liked him. I think Marky liked him as well, Marky Noble. I think it was Moyes, by all accounts, again, the rumours, is that he was the one who didn't like it. We need to have that. We need to have a midfield that's balanced. If you look at that Leicester team that was really good about sort of 4 or 5 years ago, when it was Maddison, Ndidi and Tielemans, it was the balance. You had Ndidi was the destroyer, Alvarez. Tillemans, the box to box, again, still a bit of a monster. That could be Fofana. And then you put in who I want, Morgan Gibbs-White, as the Maddison player. That's a bloody good midfield. It is a bloody good midfield. I put a question to you guys in the chat, actually. So if you're saying about Fofana, obviously Paqueta goes, Alvarez stays in the midfield. Would you sell Souček? There you go. There's a question for you. I would. Paqueta is 26 and he'll be 27 in summer. Exactly. 27 is prime career. And by all accounts, you know, again, I don't want him to go, but he's earned that right. You know, he was a bit of a flop by all accounts at AC Milan when he was very young. You know, he was meant to be the new Kaka at the time. Went to Lyon, recaptured his career. West Ham have given him a platform to, you know, reach this level. And Man City's come and looked at him. Listen, it's about how you reinvest that money now. It's about going and get that next Paqueta, that next Kudus that can be sold at big money. That's the sort of club we are at the moment. You know, it's about getting that project player, get him to a big price, and then reinvesting. Eventually, you might get to a point with a good manager and good coaching that you can reach that top level. We're never going to win the league, but I do think if the Champions League does at some point go down to 5 places, which by all accounts it will, West Ham have got a chance to get in that one year. Surely we have. Villa do have ambitious owners. They do, mate, and they've got a very good manager as well. French report says Paqueta sold for 95 million. Is that euros? If it's 95 million euros, that is about that sort of 85 million pound mark, isn't it? Fofana is a yes from me. Minimum we need is a right back, 2 centre backs, left wing, CDM, and a strike. CDM cover, yeah. Left wing, definitely. Right back, yeah, I'm sort of done with Soufa, I'll be honest with you, mate. I would keep Ben Johnson, though. Again, another question for you guys. Would you keep Ben Johnson? Striker's a must. Yeah, and CDM cover, yeah. I think I agree with you there, mate. Yeah. Michael, I think we need a new goalkeeper as Fabianski isn't going to be around forever. Yeah, Ariola's definitely the number one. We miss him as well. We do miss Ariola. Ezone20 says, am I ever anyone on today? I don't think so, mate. I'm not going to go that long, I don't think. But thanks for all the comments, mate. I know you're really good when you come on. Sell Souček, yep. Would you keep Souček for now as a squad player? We will bring new players in, but need to keep hold of some. I can't, mate. I can't. I don't like him. Mate. I appreciate what he's done. I appreciate his work ethic, but I think going forward, please, Lord Jesus Christ, David Moyes is not there after the last game of the season. I think we need to phase out them Moyes players. Them Moyes favourites just need to gradually just go. Just get them out, you know. Keep Ben all day long. I would agree. Keep Ben Johnson, steady, reliable squad player. If City or Arsenal win the Champions League, we win the Europa League, and Villa win the ECL, we get 6 teams in the Champions League with the new format. Wow, that would be a bit special. I can see City or Arsenal winning. What happens if Liverpool win it? Because you're saying we win the Europa League. I just can't see it, mate. Sadly, I would love it. What happens if Liverpool win it? I'm not sure with that one. What was the next story I wanted to talk about? Let's have a look here. Graham Potter. His name's come up again. You know, he's turned down Ajax, I believe. So I think he's favourite on the betting odds to come to West Ham. I'm not keen. I'll be honest with you, I'm not keen. I think he needs a lot around him to be successful. I do. I think it would be a slightly lazy appointment as well, Graham Potter. I think there are more exciting and there's better options out there. You could argue that Potter might come with a point to prove, you know, after the Chelsea debacle. But yeah, I'm not keen on Potter. What about you guys? What are you guys? Liverpool are already in the Champions League by position, so only 5th will get it. I'm glad Klopp is leaving this season as he is a big admirer of Bowen. Ajax copped a hiding. They certainly did, mate. No thanks to Potter. We need a more dynamic, progressive manager. I would love Almiron, but he looks a cert for Liverpool. What about Marco Silva then, guys? Would you go for him? I just want someone who bloody passed the ball. Like, we are the worst passing team in the league. We are, in terms of progressive passing and just ideas. To me, and I saw most people will see it, will go, Moyes just literally goes, keep it tight, boys, and hopefully we can get on a break. But there's no actual, you can't see West Ham are doing patterns of plays. There's no triangles. There's no idea. Like, the best way to beat West Ham is to give us the ball. It's to give us the ball, because we don't know what to do with it. I want someone who, a manager that's comfortable with West Ham on the ball. And, we do play some nice football. Yes, we're going to lose games. Yes, it's not going to be totally smooth all the way. But at least, it will look like we're trying to go for games. Does Moyes' tactics work? Sometimes. But for a long time, it hasn't. And it's just not the way to play football anymore. It's not. It's so negative and so defeatist. It must be so hard for them players to get up for games when the manager's telling you, don't have the ball, boys. Don't do too much. No thanks for... sorry, I read that one already. Potter is a no for me. Yeah. Only Potter. I would take Lewis Potter. Take Harry Potter. The most West Ham thing ever would be to win 2-0 somehow in Leverkusen and then lose 3-1 to Fulham. Yeah. I'll take that, though. Take that, mate. Arnie Slot for coach. No to Potter. Yes to Silva. Yeah, I like the David Silva. I do like him. I want someone who can actually coach the team to play. We always played triangles. I miss that. Yeah, I do, mate. I do. What else did I want to talk about? We talked about Bowen, haven't we? Talked about Phillips. What we got here? Inzaghi. Oh yeah, that's a left field one. Inzaghi. Yeah, I liked him as a player. What footballer, no matter what level, enjoys chasing the ball and let the fans? Yeah, I agree, mate. And it must be so hard. These are Premier League players as well. When you think of Lucas, there was one who's a little while ago that was saying about ambition. You can argue that, and I agree with that. West Ham do lack ambition massively. But what Brazilian international that, is all about the sexy football, the dancing when he scores goals, wants to do that? He don't want to do that. He wants to play football. Even Alvarez, from Ajax. Ajax are a renowned, not so much this season, but, a beautiful football team, that played football the right way. But this is, anti-football. Football is a business, but there still needs to be entertain or lose the sport. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Do you think Newcastle will keep Eddie out? I would take it West Ham. Good question. Very good question. Those of you who've watched and seen me on with my pal Sam from work, who's a big Newcastle fan, I always say to him in work, part of me wants him to get sacked from Newcastle, sort of a victim of his own success a little bit. I think he's a fantastic coach. And he really, really has a good idea for a player as well. The signings of Trippier and players like that. And, just he gets the best out of what he's got. The only argument that Sam keeps saying at the moment is he's starting to see Newcastle's defence turn into late Bournemouth, like what Eddie Howe was like towards the end of the Bournemouth era. But yeah, I think Eddie Howe, no manager would have been able to cope with the amount of injuries that Newcastle have had this season and the Tonali stuff. Listen, their team's been absolutely obliterated. But then could you argue that, guys, here's one I put to you guys, could you argue that some of the reason that the injuries are so frequent in the Newcastle team is because of the way that Eddie Howe plays? Because it's so high intensity, and swashbuckling, Is he partly to blame for that? But would I take him? 100%, 100%. But I've got a feeling if he does go, you could be looking at the New England manager. But I would take him 100%. First half on Saturday, 35% possession, 2 shots on goal, 0 on target. Good stuff. Mark, I would take Hal. Yes, I would take Hal. If the new FFP comes in, Hal will be gone and City and Chelsea will get let off all the charges, I think. Yeah, and it's that new rule that there won't be no points deductions and it will be big fines. What's that to City, Chelsea, even Newcastle to a certain extent? What's the fine to them? Nothing. Peanuts. There has to be points deductions for this. And risk of relegation, because money's nothing. Money's nothing to these people. They can just, mock up a sponsorship deal or, sell some more oil, whatever they're doing over there. I don't like the fine thing. I don't like that. How as half the team he does, mate. So, should we talk a little bit about Leverkusen? Let's make a little banner so people know what we're talking about. Let's make a little banner. Bear with you guys. Any questions you want, guys, come in. Like I say, it's your show today. It's just a little bit of fun, to be honest, as well. What we saying? Europa League, isn't we? Europa. Right. Okay. Banner. There we go. Right. Europa. So, massive game on Thursday night. Arguably the second hardest tie we could have pulled. Obviously, Liverpool was the one we didn't want at all. They're undefeated in something like 42 games. If they win this weekend, so after the West Ham game, I think they need one more win to win the league. And for me, that has given me a little bit of hope. Xavi Alonso will want that win as soon as possible. They're more or less guaranteed to win the league. They're not going to lose the league now. But I think he'll want that as quickly as possible. Can they still beat West Ham? 100%. We played them in pre-season. They played us off the park. Speed, pace, power. And I think it's going to be hard. It is really going to be hard. Tim Steidten will have some insight, into the way they play, the way they set up, which hopefully, will feed to David Moyes. The fact that we've got Alvarez missing for the first game, Bowen will probably be missing for this game as well. It's not going to be easy. It's not. I fear to God Souček and Ward-Prowse midfield and just getting completely overrun. It's going to be really hard. It is. There's no getting away from it. Part of me hopes that we can stay in the game. 1-0 loss, 0-0, 1-1, and bring it back to London Stadium. Hopefully, have Bowen back by then. Alvarez will be back for the second leg. We probably do need to play a Moyes ball style, to be honest with you, in this game because of the lack of depth we've got in the team. We just got to try and stay in the game. And for cup football, Moyes ball is not that bad. League, yeah. But for cup football, it is all about the winning. It doesn't matter how you win. It's just about winning. Like I say, they could have the league wrapped up this weekend, which again, then going into the second leg, could there be a little bit of a hangover? After the Lord Mayor show, they've won the league, first time they've ever won the league. Or could they go on a high and think they're going to win everything? That's my fear with that game. They've got some fantastic players. Boniface, that Wirtz guy is incredible. Centre attacking mid for them. Frimpong, the right back, really, really good player. Let me just get their team up quickly. Because they really do have some fantastic players. Who else they got that you guys, like I say, Boniface, Frimpong, obviously Granit Xhaka, former Arsenal. Grimaldi, left back, good player. Patrick Chich, who we were linked with, very good player. Borja Iglesias, there's another striker for them, really, really good form. Nathan Teller's a great player. Listen, it's a who's who list, you know. Jonathan Tah, great defender. Odin Kowosnu, very, very good. Tapsoba, defender, very, very good as well. Adam Hojsek. They really do have some top players. It is, like I say, you can't wrap it up. It is going to be incredibly difficult. Couple of comments here. West Ham way, we beat Lever over 2 legs, lose to the Italians in the semis. I'd be going, but it would be amazing to get a trip to the San Siro, though, wouldn't it? That'd be incredible. That would be absolutely incredible for the fans. To get that real glamour tie at the San Siro. I know Paul will be going if we do get there as well. Howard work brilliantly with Tim Steidten, in my opinion. Yeah, and he's open. Like there's a really good interview out there with Eddie Howe when he sort of left football for a little while. You know, he didn't have a job for a little while. He went everywhere around the world, in Europe, learning off coaches. He's a student of the managerial world and he's adaptable. And, you know, I think it would work. Yeah, I would love him to come, mate. Sorry. Xavi has said he wants the league and Europa Cup. Yeah, he's a winner, mate. He's a winner, you know. He will be an absolute god in Leverkusen just for winning the league. First time they've ever won the league. How many London buses does it take? Does Royce take to Germany? I don't know. Is the Europa Conference League bus still available? Maybe get that over there. Pairing James Ward-Prowse and Soucek together is always a concern. It is, mate. It is. What about? And this is just just an idea. I'm not saying I would do it. How would you feel about? And I'm not just blowing smoke up him because he had a decent performance the other night. How would you feel about Ben Johnson playing CDM? Just as cover for this game. And then if he has to play Ward-Prowse and Soucek, at least there's someone who can maybe defend and be a bit physical and get around the pitch. What do you think of that? Would you be tempted with that? Moyes will go for the draw away, but we can't defend, so we are effed. I agree, mate. Hopefully we don't go with Freiburg approach away and ultra cautious. Yeah, you know, we've got to get our good players on the ball and see what we can do, mate. It's going to be tough, though. I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. But I do also have a real fear. Moyes' defensive masterclass incoming, so we no need to panic. On the bright side, we beat Seville, who were the Europa League untouchables, so have faith, guys. Yeah. Hojsek is out, apparently. That's good news. But apparently Victor Boniface could be out, mate. Could be out. West Ham under-21s take on PSV Eindhoven in the semi-final of the International Cup tonight at Chigwell's Construction Stadium, home of Bangham and Redbridge. Thank you very much for that, mate. Do you think we might go back to a back three? Oggy could be an option for his leadership. He was brilliant against Arsenal. Wait, shout for that, mate. There's definitely a shout for that. You could go Oggy, Zuma, Mavropanos. I would go Johnson for this game. I would go Johnson right. If you're going to go three with wing backs, I'd go Johnson wing back with Emerson on the left wing back. And then you'd go them three up front with the two lampposts in the middle, sadly. But yeah. Michael, that Seville team nearly got relegated that season. Yeah, they had Martial up front, didn't they? Rob, not on TV though. That's an idea I had regarding Johnson. Oh, there you go. Under 21s is free to season ticket holders, £3 for adults, £1 for kids. Thanks, mate. Thanks, anything else, guys? Anything else? I won't go too much longer. I won't keep too much longer, and plus I'm bloody starving as well. Yeah, what's my predictions for Thursday night? I think we're going to lose 2-0. That's me being realist. a realist on what I think will happen. What could happen is I think we could maybe lose 2-1, and Antonio has one of his worldly performances, and we are able to be quite defensive and frustrate them. Let's be honest as well. Yes, they've had a really good season and they are a fantastic team. Anyone, whatever league you're in, if you go undefeated in your league, you're a decent team, and then all other competitions. But that club, that last game they had, Karabakh, took them bloody close. I tell you, they took them bloody close. Are we better than Karabakh? Well, I'd like to think so. You'd like to think West Ham are better than them. Have we got the quality? Have we got players that teams are frightened of? Yes, we have. You get Mo Kudus in the right mood. You get Paqueta in the right mood. You got a chance. You got a chance. Who plays in front of Bowen? There's a question for you guys. If Bowen's not fit, who's playing? Who's playing there? Does he go Kudus left, Antonio right? Kudus right, Antonio through the centre, Paqueta left. Again, these are other questions for you as well. I would as well, me personally, he won't do it, but if Areola was fit for this game, I'd put Areola in goal, because I think he's so good at shot stopping that I think at this stage in the competition, I think sentimentalness towards Fabianski needs to go out the window. If Areola is fit for this game, I think he has to play. What about you guys? Ralph, I know people are able to get there, need to cheer them on. Rob, I live in Spain. God, lucky you. My head says we lose 3-1, but my heart says we'll win 2. I live in Liverpool. We could be the first team to beat them this season. I would love it, mate. I love it. I love nothing more than to come on here Friday morning and say, come on, we're in it. We're still in it. 2-1 loss, and I think 20% possession against 20 shots. Put a bet on that, mate. Support the team, not the individuals. Areola better all day long. And Brian thinks we lose 2-1 on Thursday. Obviously, after that, we have Fulham. Obviously, I want us to get revenge on them because they absolutely spanked us at Craven Cottage. I would like revenge in that game. And plus, where teams just don't want them European place this year, just as we get a chance to get there, we slip. Man United, obviously, a lot winning. They're getting draws. Chelsea are so unpredictable. Newcastle, they win and then they lose. They're a bit wobbly as well. It's there to be done. 6th, 7th is there. It's there to go and get it if you get the wins. And I think if we do beat Fulham the weekend, I think we're in a really, really good chance. Really good chance of getting it. Obviously, we still have to play Liverpool and Man City, so they can wipe them games straight out. But the other games are fairly favourable. But if we lose to them and we've come out with a good result against Bayer Leverkusen, I couldn't care less. Because then that massive, massive game at the London Stadium against Leverkusen, the second leg, if we're still in that game, I couldn't care less if we lose because we've got a massive chance then. Put that one up already. If Bowen's out, play Cresswell left back, Cresswell or Johnson left back and Emerson left wing. Yeah, and then Kudus can go into his right wing natural position. Yeah, I agree with that. Bowen will never leave. His father-in-law would have his nuts. Yeah, that's it for me, guys. Oh, I just want to say, we are 9 or 10 subscribers away from 4,500. So, if you've got some mates who want to watch me talk about West Ham, put it in. And it's good because we're only 500. That means we're only about 500 away from 5,000, which, again, is a massive milestone that I would love us to hit soon. So yeah, get us out there, guys. We are on Twitch now as well, YouTube and Twitter when we go live. So please get us out there, guys. Hit the like button as well before you leave. Thank you so much for talking along with me. It's a pleasure doing these shows with you. I don't do them enough because I don't get enough time. But thank you so much. A couple more comments. Shows how inconsistent the second tier of the Premier League has been. We have won 3 games this calendar year and are still 7. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. It's been a bad year for, just an inconsistent year for most teams, isn't it? Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Come on, you Irons. Big game on Thursday. Let's do it. Let's keep ourselves in it. And I'll be back probably Friday morning, either really happy or really sad. Come on, you